In the vast expanse of cinematic history, there are films that don't just challenge the norms, they shatter them, influencing generations to come. Ridley Scott's 1979 masterpiece, Alien, is one such film. Not only did it redefine the science fiction and horror genres, blending them into an unforgettable journey of suspense and terror, but it also broke ground with its protagonist, Ellen Ripley, portrayed with formidable strength and depth by Sigourney Weaver. Let's journey back to the corridors of the Nostromo to explore how Alien became a seminal work, not just for its cinematic craftsmanship, but for its bold decision to cast a woman as the lone survivor and hero in a narrative where none would have expected her. Alien arrived in theaters at a time when science fiction often looked to the stars with optimism, driven by visions of utopias or grand space operas. Horror, on the other hand, was firmly grounded, preying on earthly fears. Ridley Scott envisioned something different, a film that would bring the terror of the unknown into the claustrophobic confines of a spaceship, blending these genres into a tense narrative. But perhaps the film's most revolutionary aspect was its protagonist, Ripley, a character who defied the gender norms of the era's cinema. In the original script, Ripley was written without a specific gender, allowing for the casting of either male or female actor. This decision, seemingly small, was the seed from which Alien grew into a groundbreaking narrative. Casting Sigourney Weaver, then relatively unknown, Ridley Scott not only gave us a female protagonist, but redefined what a hero looked like in science fiction and horror. Ripley was not the damsel in distress or the side character. She was the heart and soul of Alien, a competent, strong-willed officer whose decisions drive the narrative forward. At a time when film heroines were often relegated to secondary roles or defined by their relationships to male characters, Ripley stood apart. She was not defined by her femininity, but by her humanity. Her gender, while integral to the groundbreaking nature of the character, was secondary to her role as a survivor, a fighter against not just the xenomorph, but against the disbelief and condescension of her male counterparts. Ripley's character arc is not about becoming a hero. It's about revealing the hero she already is, underlying the fact that courage and leadership are not gendered traits. Ripley's portrayal in Alien had a profound impact on the representation of women in cinema, particularly in genres traditionally dominated by male protagonists. She became an icon of resilience, intelligence, and strength, paving the way for a generation of female characters who could carry a film not just with grace, but with authority and competence. Characters like Sarah Connor in Terminator and Clarice Starling in The Silence of the Lambs owe a debt to Ripley, to the doors she opened by simply surviving. The creation of Alien and the development of Ripley's character were feats of cinematic brilliance. Ridley Scott's direction, combined with H.R. Giger's nightmarish creature design, created an atmosphere of palpable tension and dread. But it was Sigourney Weaver's performance that anchored the film's emotional core. Weaver brought depth to Ripley, portraying her as multifaceted and real, her fear and determination palpable. It was this portrayal that made Ripley not just a character to root for, but one to believe in. Since its release, Alien has been analyzed and celebrated for its thematic depth, from its exploration of corporate exploitation and human vulnerability to its allegories of birth and the maternal instinct. Yet, its most lasting legacy may be its challenge to the gender stereotypes of its time. In Ripley, Alien presented a vision of a future where strength and leadership are not bound by gender, inspiring not just filmmakers, but audiences to rethink the roles women could play, both on-screen and off. Alien is more than a film, it's a cultural milestone. In the vast, dark void of space, it found light in the form of Ellen Ripley, a character who redefined what a heroine could be. As we look back on this masterpiece, it's clear that its legacy is not just in the fear it evokes or the suspense it builds, but in the barriers it broke down. Ripley's survival is not just a triumph over the alien, but a victory over the constrained archetypes that once defined female characters in cinema. Her journey from a crew member to the saga's indomitable spirit is not merely a tale of survival against otherworldly terror, but a narrative revolution that challenged and subsequently changed the landscape of storytelling.